Welcome to Michigan Reimagined, presented by Good Marketing and Wagoner Financial. And here's your host, Chris Buck.
In August of 2021, Hip Hop Appreciation Month became a state holiday. All of the Above Hip Hop Academy, or AOTA, immediately got after it. And on August 15th of this year, AOTA will be hosting the 5th annual Cap City Breaking Jam at the Lansing Shuffle. Here to share the history and the details of this amazing event is the Executive Director of the All of the Above Hip Hop Academy, Ozay Moore. Welcome back to the show, Ozay.
Hey, good to be here.
Absolutely. So, share with us your roots. How did your passion for hip hop begin? How'd you arrive in Lansing, Michigan? How'd you get OATA all set up?
Yeah. So born and raised in Seattle, to a musical family. My father was a dance choreographer and put together like tribute to Motown shows, that sort of thing. So I kind of grew up as a theater brat.
Okay.
At the Paramount Theater, running around that old theater and being there for rehearsals, and big events would come through, and I'd be either behind the stage or under the stage, or just running around the theater while things are kind of in production. And so I saw a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of band rehearsals, a lot of musicians being regular people, off the stage. But more so being a child of the 80s and the 90s, hip hop was everywhere.
Right.
They didn't think it would last this long, because I don't think folks really understood what it was outside of a genre. You know what I mean? So in Seattle, which is kind of like a melting pot of all people from all over the world, our particular experience in hip hop culture was really rich. I mean, the breaking was there. So hip hop is typically celebrated, or I guess foundationally celebrated as having these 5 elements, right? Breakdancing, graffiti art, breaking, graffiti art, DJing, MCing, and the 5th component being knowledge. So breaking, graffiti, DJing, MCing, and knowledge. And that's that component where you're sharing information, you're passing the tools along and down. And so I don't think hip hop has never really ever celebrated that way. But in Seattle, that was my experience. I had elders, I had people who looked after me or imparted into me, not only for my career, but as my development as a young man,
Yeah.
And that's dating clear back to the mid 90s, finding my itch, had a karaoke box. I would try rapping on that, bought a lot of blank tapes and cassette singles to try to make my own songs.
Okay.
And then, it just kind of took off from there. I got the itch and never stopped scratching, I guess. That's the...
so to speak. So Sir Mix-a-Lot's from Federal Way, right?
Yeah.
So who else has come out from the hip hop world that audience might know?
Yeah.
I don't think of it as a hit. I was there in Seattle in the 90s and early 2000s. So for me, it was more of a grunge experience.
Yeah, definitely.
But hip hop, I mean, it permeates everywhere. So I just wouldn't have thought of Seattle as a hip hop foundation, but I guess you find it wherever you look for it.
Yeah, what's interesting is that hip hop never really had a lot of celebrities in Seattle. Mix-a-Lot was a big one, Kid Sensation, Nasty Ness and Vitamin D, there's been people who have made their name in hip hop. Macklemore was within the last decade, he was somebody that's made commercial, notoriety. But Seattle was always one of those cities that the magic of the scene was bubbling below people's radar. Right. It was just rich. It was this, you had this highly and dense, concentrated love and appreciation for the art form, not necessarily the business. The business was, people weren't checking in Seattle for the next star, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But everybody in Seattle knew that we had something special here, where every breaking event was top tier, even now. So, I guess Massive Monkeys just celebrated their 20th or 21st anniversary. No, sorry, 26th anniversary.
Wow,
so I was there at the first one.
Yeah.
So they are the breakdancing group or breaking crew that used to tour with Macklemore. They danced for the Sonics when they still had a team.
Yep.
But I remember their first jam. It was at a little church, and they were battling as a super crew, But that's kind of the nature. It's people weren't finding out about how rich Seattle was in terms of being this hotbed of talent until 20, 30 years later, because all eyes were on Seattle for grunge, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, it's just always been really rich in a healthy scene.
How'd you end up in Michigan?
My wife is from here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right
that's
on.
probably a pretty typical story. But no, she's from here, and I was want to take a chance and figure out and experience something new. I can't lie. I was trying to get back home as quick as I came, but you buy a home here, have some kids here, get some roots here, and find out this is a really beautiful place. And I love having the work and being able to put my hands towards something meaningful and useful in this city. And I love this city.
Well, you are, and you're celebrated, and so is your organization. It's nice to see for your evolution. We'll talk a little bit more about your brand, but I want to first give a nod to our friends at Good Marketing. Here in Michigan Reimagined, we tell stories of passionate Michiganders doing great things across the state. Today's podcast sponsor, Good Marketing, helps organizations tell those stories in a powerful and measurable way. As a behavior change accelerator, Good partners with mission-driven clients to inspire action, shift mindsets, and strengthen communities. From advancing affordable housing to protecting natural resources and expanding education and workforce opportunities, their work moves Michigan forward. See how they're helping shape Michigan's future at goodmarketing.com. That's GUD marketing.com. So now you're in Michigan with your wife's family nearby.
Yeah.
AOTA, how do you start your own academy? What was the impetus behind that?
2009, 2010, right around that time, I was making a transition. I just had my first son. My background is as a recording artist, traveling, touring recording artist, both nationally and internationally. And at that point in time, living in mid-Michigan was really easy to get on the road. At that time, we would get, tour, hit, all the Midwest cities, really easy and affordably, and living here was really affordable too. So it just kind of worked out. However, my life was making some changes, and I just wanted to be home more. I didn't want to be on the road and having to make a living touring and that sort of thing.
Right.
And simultaneously, they were kind of like cutting the budget for arts and PE and that sort of thing in the Lansing schools.
Yeah, right on.
But what's interesting is I was getting a lot of opportunities in Detroit because something similar was happening there, except for I think their arts integration programming and mechanisms were a little bit further along. So I was getting a lot of contract work as a teaching artist in Southwest Detroit, all across the Detroit public schools. I was like, this is really cool to be doing like a jazz hip hop version of Schoolhouse Rock in all these elementaries across Detroit.
Right.
But Lansing needs something like this,
All right.
And that just started, just started marinating on the idea of what would it look like if Lansing had a resource that centered hip hop culture to do youth mentorship and to kind of fill in some of those gaps that were coming by way of the school district at the time with budget cuts and that sort of thing,
Got it.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about Hip Hop Appreciation Month. Is that right? It is a month, as August?
Yeah.
How did that come to being?
Oh, man. So there's a couple different ones. So there's the state recognized Hip Hop Appreciation day, right? Then there was a city one that AOTA kind of got roped into, June 26th. But across the whole hip hop community, August, so August 11th is quote unquote the birth date of hip hop, and that some people rock with that, some people don't. I think it's kind of like just put a flag in it. But it was the date of a quintessential event in hip hop, Cindy's birthday, which DJ Kool Herc was, one of our architects in hip hop culture, a DJ who did a back to school party for his sister in a rec room at 1520 Sedgwick Boulevard in the Bronx, New York. And out of that event, people were like, that's when it started, But if you talk to anybody from New York, they're like, no, it started like 10 years before that with DJ Magic such and such and so and so.
Right.
Like it's been happening. But I think as a whole, we like to put parameters on things and have like official start dates and official end dates and box it up all nice and neat. So yeah, August 11th is quote unquote the hip hop's birthday.
And regardless of when you're actually hearing this, we are actually recording this on August 11th.
Oh, right
2026.
on.
Right now. That's
Here
today.
Yeah, it's today. See, you
Happy
look
birthday.
Up, thank you, hip hop.
Right on. So, all right. So you've got the Cap City Break and Jam, which it sounds like you pretty much started that on the heels of this, it's August and it obviously happens every year in August.
Yeah.
Has it been at the Lansing Shuffle historically, or is this going to be the first time there? I missed last year's.
No, every year we do it at the Lansing Shuffle.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And that's been, Yeah, a real beautiful thing. They and we actually were doing it on that site before it was the Lansing Shuffle. It was transitioning from the market, so it was vacant.
Yep.
And we just asked the city if we could use some concrete to pull it off, So I think the first year we did it on the lower terrace and had some food carts upstairs, up on the upper terrace where now the Lansing Shuffle is. And it's just grown year to year. We attract talent from all over the world, to our little city, to our riverfront, for the, some really high level dance competition, athleticism. I mean, folks saw the Olympics, and regardless of how you feel about that, again, to the point earlier, the culture has always lived below the surface. That was just kind of like, oh, check out the athletes who are in this dance form, But we've had Olympians here in town. In fact, the year of the Olympics in Paris, the DJ that was DJing the Olympics was here 2 days before. So DJ Flegg, he literally DJ'd at the Shuffle and then was like, okay, I had to hop on a plane to go to Paris to DJ the Olympics, where a lot of the people we've seen over the last 20 years develop and nurture their skills, performed for the whole world, which was a really cool moment in hip hop history.
Awesome. Well, I want to unpack what the run of show is going to look like this weekend, but I want to give a nod to my friend Kirk Byrons from State Farm Insurance. Today's podcast is sponsored by our good friends at the Kirk Byrons State Farm Agency. Their mission is to put the customer first when helping them plan for the risks of everyday life, to prepare for the unexpected, and to realize their financial goals. Kirk and his team build value and confidence in your auto, home, life, health, business insurance, and financial service needs. Kirk's always looking for opportunities to help customers in mid-Michigan and around the country. Everyone has insurance needs, and you would do well by contacting Kirk Byrons State Farm Insurance. Get in touch with them by calling 517-349-3830 or look them up at sfbyrons.com. That's Byrens. You will not regret it. So, all right. So it's a weekend event, right?
Yes.
So tell me what happens Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like what would people experience? Do you need tickets or is it a pop by? How does it work?
It is a free event to the community. It's $10 to enter. It's really, really small ticket price for competitors. But essentially, open to the public. It's outdoors, weather permitting. Yep. If not, we just shift everything inside, which we've done one year before. It works great. The amenities there at the Shuffle are fantastic, so everybody can eat and everything they need all day, which it typically ends up being an all-day event. So many people are coming in from out of town. I would say a good 60% of the people there, are out of towners, which is really great.
Yeah.
But we start the day off with a workshop. We have B-Boy Orb from Circle of Fire Crew, Seattle, coming in. He's going to be doing a workshop, all ages free workshop for young people and adults alike at 11 o'clock. That'll run to about noon, where we kind of kick everything off. 1 o'clock, the youth prelims. So that's youth 1v1. So 1 against 1. For young people between
dance
ages.
or rap?
Dance.
Okay.
This is all dance competition.
Okay.
So they're going to compete, let's see, till probably about 3 o'clock. And then it's kind of open session, open ciphers, and DJs are playing all day, right? So
right on.
Kind of what happens is the prelims kind of like weed through, maybe you got 30 kids that want to break, right?
Yep.
It pares it down to 16.
Okay.
So we go, get the top 16, and then we go into the top 16 bracket, top 8, top 4,
right.
Finals.
Yeah.
For the kids.
And what age group is that?
And this is anywhere. I mean, we've seen kids come and compete anywhere between 6 and 18.
Wow. Okay.
And the 6-year-olds are vicious.
Yeah. Well, first of all, they're rubber.
They're rubber, man. They don't get hurt.
They bounce. They don't get hurt.
But yeah, really, really fun. I encourage you, if you got a family, you got a kid who just can't sit still and wants to dance, this is the place to be, to come and get inspired.
Right.
And then on top of that, our organization offers free programming year-round to teach kids how to do what they saw at Cap City. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a shameless plug for our programs that are free to the public. But we get to display hip-hop culture, display breaking culture to the broader community, and then follow up with, hey, if you're interested, talk to us. We'll take care of you. We'll teach you what we know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So does the youth thing kind of work its way through and you announce a champion that's on Friday?
Yeah, it'll be on Saturday.
That's on Saturday?
So everything's happening on Saturday. Saturday at the Shuffle. And in the youth jam, the youth portion, the battles, and probably round 3, depending on how many kids we have. And roughly the adult 2v2 battles start around 4 o'clock.
Got it. Okay.
Kind of the same gamut,
Yep.
but this is like team competitions now,
Okay.
right? The cash prize for the youth is $500, which is,
righteous bucks for kids. Yeah, absolutely.
I would do something for $500.
Right. Legal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's your kind.
That's the
we'll
point.
We'll close the loop on this conversation
exactly.
about how this is all driving good, honest behaviors,
pro-social
responsibility,
behaviors,
physical fitness, all the things, right?
Yes, sir. But that adult 2v2 is $2,500 and some trophies. The trophies are made by Andrew Senstedt here, the welder.
Yeah.
And everybody leaves Michigan with a piece of like automotive hardware fashioned into a boombox that only Andrew could do.
That's
awesome. So that's part of the trophy. So the youth get a trophy, $500. The adult 2v2s, they get trophies and $2,500, and the runner-up gets $1,000. So yeah, big shout outs to all of our sponsors who helped make that happen.
Right on.
Yeah.
And so at its guts, the break. Okay, so the break-in jam is almost exclusively dance.
Yeah, it's all dance.
So it's not, but if you're dancing, you're hearing music. So you've got DJs that are spinning all day long.
Yeah.
And so it's a great musical experience.
Yes.
Not a concert per se, but you got people backing up these dancers.
Absolutely. And a lot of like just dancing in general. I think the highlight of, especially of the Michigan brand of breaking competitions or jams, is the cypher. The competition is awesome. People love that, to compete. But it's what's happening in between the rounds, like in different pockets of the floor. So different. So like this floor over here and this floor over here, cypher floors is what we call them.
Okay.
People will just be having conversation, dance, right? They're going back and forth, sharing moves, like just vibing out to the music, and that's happening all over the place, right? So people are practicing moves, vibing out to the music. The DJ's keeping the vibe high and energetic. And so as a spectator, you literally are just watching like this manifestation of raw, beautiful energy that's been honed over years of practice and is very, very in the moment making magic. It's entertaining, it's inspiring, it's all positive. We've never had a silly event pop off at one of our events. Everybody leaves feeling really good having been there and inspired.
And it must be, for those who don't know, Lansing Shuffle is right on our Lansing's River Trail. Mm-hmm. You must get a lot of just circumstantial passersby who are like, whoa, what is going on here? I heard it a half a mile ago, and I'm going to pause and stop and check this thing out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love the fact that this is an annual event at the same place, so people can put it on their calendars and really get there.
Yeah.
So you talked about a nominal fee for people who want to compete to get in there. And then otherwise it's a free event and you're giving out all these great prizes. So you mentioned sponsors or benefactors or whatever, and I don't mean to pin you down because you're always gonna be like, who did I forget?
Yeah.
But can you give a shout out to some of the folks that help you put this all together financially, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We got the Arts Council.
Okay.
The Capital City Downtown Meyer Market, LAFQ, the Lansing Shuffle, of course.
Yeah.
Let's see, who else am I missing there? The Courtyard Marriott.
Oh,
yeah, they're a big
those guys are great.
Oh, they're incredible. They're putting a lot of our people up.
Yep.
They're offering discounted rates. So I don't know where you're hearing this, but if you're out of town and you want to come into town.
Right across the street pretty much.
Absolutely.
Walking distance.
Within walking
Good
distance.
friend of mine, Brandon, I think is the general manager there. And
Okay.
I know the folks at Cap City Market, which is right next door. Great grocery store, Cap City Market, sponsoring the Cap City Break and Jam.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
And these folks support AOTA year round too, like in our regular programming. So when we call for the favor to show up for this, they're just like, yeah, absolutely. Because they see the work behind the scenes. Like this is like one of our bigger events that, public facing events, but they see and recognize the work we do year round, which is rich, which is really a gift. I think as a hip hop organization, or organization, I guess hip hop is most often recognized for its very public facing persona, whether it's performance or an event or DJs and that, but it's the work that we're doing behind the scenes, working with young people, developing confidence, supporting their youth development, their development as young people, and connecting them to resources in the community. That stuff can go unnoticed, but these community partners rock with us all year round and really support the work we're able to do that way.
Now you moved to a new facility.
Yeah.
And you're on Michigan Ave, right?
Yeah.
Or Washington Square.
Yes.
Washington, right?
Yeah, right up here.
So if I walk through the front door, what would I see? What kind of space do you occupy now?
It's one part dance studio, coffee shop, DJ booth. So when you first walk in, there's a big graffiti mural on the side. The guy who did all the artwork for this year's Cap City Breaking Jam, we brought him in from Seattle. Obviously, I have a thing for Seattle. I know a lot.
Yeah. No, that's good.
But he came in, he painted, and you see that on your immediate left, and you'll be greeted by, our front of house booth where kids are able to check in, families are able to check their kids in. But then to your immediate right is kind of like some plants and a seating area with some built-in benches and whatnot. So it's kind of a lounge feel. And right in front of you is the dance studio. Hardwood floors, big mirrors, and then to the left of that is a built-in DJ booth, kind of elevated.
Yeah.
And in the corner there is our corner stage, essentially where we do like open mics and workshops and stuff like that. So that is the front part of our building. The middle part, bathrooms and office. Back portion has a recording, like a home recording studio / like if you think a computer lab mixed with a recording studio. So we have MacBooks laid out for them where they are able to learn how to make beats with using some hardware and some MIDI equipment. We have DJ MIDI controllers where students are learning how to DJ back there. They're writing and recording their own songs back there. So it really is a 1,900 square foot compound of hip hop arts celebration and instruction and community culture building, all bottled up in one little location. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So now, what kind of programming do you have for the community as far as like, is it sessions, like after school stuff, weekend stuff, night stuff? Yeah. Who's your staff? I mean, you're not doing all this yourself, right? So who are your partners in all of this? How does that work?
Yeah, so we have 3 staff at AOTA.
Okay.
And then we have about 15 different teaching artists from around the area who facilitate classes and workshops. So our programming in the building works with students between the ages of 6 and 18. We offer breaking classes, so in hip hop, dance, and choreo classes. We offer a bars program, which is beats and rhyme sessions, teaching kids how to make beats, write rhymes, work collaboratively with each other, and record their own material. We also have, let's see, what am I missing out? We had a photography class at one point in time. I don't think we have it this year, but those are our core, the breaking classes, hip hop, dance, and choreo, DJing, and the bars programs. So we do that all in-house. And then outside of that, and we did on like a quarterly basis. So we have summer, winter, fall, and spring sessions, about 8 weeks each session. But then at the same time, we're in the schools. So after school at Sexton, Everett, Eastern, and this year we're adding Waverly. We do all those programs kind of bottled up in one with an after school kind of choose your own adventure, exploratory experience in hip hop culture, where we set up in either their cafeteria or in their music room or wherever the school allows for us to post up. We feed the kids, we connect with them and have we share a meal and have a conversation, discussion, kind of get them thinking about what they're thinking about and having some meaningful conversation. And then the kids break out and go dance or make music or record or write poetry or draw or whatever they want to do, utilizing the expertise and facilitation of our teaching artists.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's year round.
So all of that must be somewhere on a website, right?
Yes.
What is your website?
Yeah, alloftheabovehiphop.org.
And are all of these things free to?
Free.
Okay. So the benefactors, all these sponsors that you talked about, they're the ones who kind of keep the cash flowing for you.
Yeah. And the good folks listening here, we are supported by the philanthropic and good nature of our community and our partners, as we grow, obviously we're thinking and exploring different ways in which we can activate our space. We got to, revenue driving opportunities, but we wanted to keep the main thing. And that was that the stakes are too high to have barriers that may, prohibit or exclude somebody who could really benefit from time and attention and opportunity with thoughtful mentors and people who are speaking the same language. Like, you're into hip hop, I do it. I've been doing it for 30 years. let me share what I know with you, right? And in the process, let's talk about what you're trying to do with your life. So with all that, like from the youth programming components, we also have like adult mentor programs, right? That the school feeds into, and then we kind of take each cohort and help guide them into the next stages of their lives. And it's not always art related. It's just like, hey, where you want to go to school? Okay, are you familiar with the Lansing Promise? Do you know how to activate your promise? Do you know who to talk to about your promise scholarships? All right. So we're having these other conversations, leveraging hip hop culture and that as kind of the medium to generate and build trust and connect with young people, but furthermore, to connect young people to their resources in the community and opportunities they didn't even know were accessible to them. Right. So we're actually guiding them into young adulthood, having been a solid infrastructure for them to build from as high school student, middle school student, and elementary kid.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Mentorship through hip hop.
Absolutely, man.
That's wonderful. All right. Sir. Anything I haven't asked you? Any other messages you want to give out to the community? I mean, first of all, we talked about your mission and all the offerings you have as an academy, and then we unpacked your 5th annual Cap City Break-In Jam. I think we touched them all. Unless you got anything else. Remind everyone the website again. It's
alloftheabovehiphop.org.
Okay.
And the jam is this Saturday at the Lansing Shuffle. Excuse me.
Yeah.
The workshop for all ages starts at 11 o'clock. The youth prelims start around 1 o'clock, and then the adult 2v2 start around 4. So don't miss it. It's free. It's fun. Weather permitting, we'll be outside, but if not, we'll be indoors, and it'll be just as good of a time.
Right on.
Yes.
We've been talking to the executive director of All the Above Hip Hop Academy, Ozay Moore, talking about the 5th annual Cap City Break-In Jam and all the offerings he has. Wonderful story. Thanks for coming in and sharing it with us. I hope you have the best turnout ever and that the skies part open and give you nice sunshine and not too hot temperatures.
Like 75, 72. That'd be perfect.
Right on. Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
And I'd love to thank our all of our loyal sponsors. We got Wagoner Financial, Good Marketing, Triterra Environmental, Keller Williams Advantage and Team, Michigan Rise, Kirk Byron State Farm Insurance, and the attorneys at Foster Swift. All great people doing great work in our communities. And if you found the show as a one-off, I want you to like and subscribe to Michigan Reimagined anywhere you find your podcasts. This is Chris Buck signing off for Michigan Reimagined.